Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go?
Gloria is saying, hey, we need to get him medical help because he's too drugged up.
Get an ambulance, get him out of here.
And according to Manzaro, Emilio steps in and says, no, we're not doing that, and shoves Gloria out of the way, and then they take this guy through a tunnel from the Estefan's house to Diddy's home. Now, this is on Star Island in Miami. They do actually live near.
Welcome back. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to get your daily dose of scandal and glamour. A bombshell video just leaked, and it's got Jay-Z front and center, allegedly threatening witnesses tied to Diddy's wild freak-off lawsuit. And now Katt Williams? He's naming names out loud, dragging Jay straight into the scandal like he's been waiting to do it. Jay-Z's not looking so untouchable anymore. This ain't no random internet rumor. This is real court heat, lawsuits, federal eyes, and straight-up claims of witness intimidation. It's got people seriously asking, is Jay-Z actually Diddy's secret cleaner, his behind-the-scenes fixer, who swoops in to silence anyone who talks too much? This leaked video could change everything, because if what Katt is saying is real, and if Jay did what this clip suggests, then he might be even more dangerous behind the curtain than Diddy ever was in public. We're talking allegations tied to lawsuits, where Jay-Z's name allegedly pops up in messed up situations, stuff involving underage individuals, masked men, and drugged-out parties. On top of that, there's talk of him running twisted psychological games behind the scenes to control the story and protect himself. Now the question's flipping. Is Jay really pulling strings to throw Diddy under the bus and shield his own empire? Folks online are starting to piece it together, and they're pointing fingers hard. Even 50 Cent and Jaguar Wright are throwing out cryptic clues like they know something and are just waiting to say more. By the time we're done unpacking this, you'll understand why some are calling Jay-Z the true puppet master of the entire hip-hop game. And if this panic is as real as it looks, then Jay's empire might be the next to shake. Now let's talk about this clip, because if it really shows Jay-Z pressuring witnesses to stay silent, then Diddy might not be the only one showing up in court wearing handcuffs. This thing is getting dark real quick. So here's what has everyone shook. A leaked video that Katt Williams brought up during a recent podcast taping. In the footage, which is allegedly private and not meant for public eyes, Jay-Z is seen outside what looks like a rented mansion in the Hamptons, having a hush-hush convo with two unidentified men. The video quality? Rough. The audio? Grainy. But folks who claim they saw it are swearing up and down that the voice in it sounds just like Jay-Z. And what he's allegedly saying? Cold as ice. Supposedly, he's warning the two men about someone out here running their mouth. He allegedly says stuff like, they don't talk, making it real clear that anyone looking for attention is basically asking to get handled. Word on the block is that one of the guys sounds nervous and starts mumbling about a woman, allegedly, who's already spilled info to federal agents, and that's when it gets chilling. The Jay-sounding voice allegedly cuts him off cold, saying they need to take care of the situation before it hits the courtroom. That part alone has the internet spiraling, but it gets messier. He allegedly even name-drops Cassie, brushing off her whole situation like it was Diddy's screw-up. The implication? They ain't about to let that kind of mistake happen again. Look, nobody's confirmed this clip yet, but people in the streets are treating it like gospel. If this video is real, and that's still a big if, then this might just be the quiet before a full-blown legal hurricane drops. One wrong move and Jay-Z could be staring down the feds just like Diddy. Now let's be clear, this clip still hasn't hit mainstream outlets, and the big media companies ain't touched it yet. So officially, it's unconfirmed. But the timing? It's crazy suspicious. And with all the wild stories that have actually come true lately, people are starting to believe this one might be next. Right before Katt even teased that leaked video, a witness named Zorro came forward with some serious allegations. He claims he was drugged, assaulted, and forced to walk around half naked in front of Jay-Z and Beyonce during Diddy's son's birthday bash. And get this, Zorro says it wasn't just some freak accident. According to him, this was Diddy's way of punishing him for being a snitch. Zorro's claims are now part of a federal lawsuit, and guess whose names are in that paperwork? Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter. It allegedly says they were in the room when this all went down. The lawsuit even quotes Diddy telling him, "We want you to see what we do to snitches. This ain't gossip, it's in a federal court document." Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, jumped in fast, trying to shut it all down, saying Jay wasn't even in the state when it happened. But Zorro's legal team clapped back, saying they've got cell tower data and visual evidence placing him right at the scene. So if that video Katt teased really exists, and if it lines up with the timeline Zorro laid out, then we're talking about witness intimidation, and that's a federal charge with major consequences. Now here's the wild part. Katt Williams been warning about this shady industry mess for years. Folks used to laugh at him, call him crazy, say he was on something. But after this, people are calling Katt a prophet out here. He's been exposing the twisted side of hip-hop, peeling back the layers for over a decade. And in that viral sit-down with Shannon Sharpe earlier this year, Katt wasn't just dropping hints. He was naming names and calling out abuse straight up. Katt Williams didn't hold back. He allegedly said one of the biggest names in the game is the one pulling the strings from deep in the shadows. According to Katt, nobody gets to the top without covering for the real power players, and sometimes doing their dirty work behind the scenes. Fast forward to a recent live stream, and Katt lit the block up again. This time, he didn't just hint. He straight up called out Jay-Z as not just a bystander, but an active player in what people are now calling the fixer culture. The way Katt broke it down, Jay ain't just watching from the sidelines. He's allegedly pushing the buttons when it benefits him. People online are starting to connect the dots. They're saying it's looking way too calculated. Like every time somebody else gets thrown under the bus, Jay somehow walks away untouched, clean, untouchable. And every time a black man starts to rise, Jay-Z's right there behind the curtain, smiling for the cameras while tightening the noose behind the scenes. Social media's going wild with fans pointing out the pattern. They're saying Jay always manages to show up at just the right time, right before another brother falls. And who's standing backstage? Jay-Z, with that same calm grin. People are starting to ask, is it just coincidence or control? Even Echo's been speaking on it, saying Jay lined up his old friends like DeHaven, Biggs Kareem Burke, and Dame Dash, one by one. She believes Jay didn't just leave them behind. He erased them, took their legacies, their opportunities, their shine, and used it to build his own empire. So apparently, this ain't new behavior. People are saying Jay-Z has been pulling these silent moves for a while. But when that bombshell lawsuit dropped, Jay's legal team clapped back hard, accusing attorney Tony Busby of chasing clout and trying to make money off tragedy. Their statement read something like, "These accusations are so sick and extreme that if they were real, a criminal case, not a civil one, should have been filed. If anyone did this to a minor, they should be in jail, period." But instead of calming things down, that response, it made people side-eye even harder. Like, if it's really that serious, why hasn't there been any serious action taken? And here's the real question folks are whispering. How many more of these disturbing, can't-prove-it claims gotta come out before something actually sticks? Because the list is getting long, and the internet's patience is running out. Then 50 Cent jumped in with straight-up disrespectful shade. Classic 50. He dropped a whole Instagram carousel of old pics showing Jay-Z and Diddy all hugged up through the years. And the soundtrack? That soft, old-school vibe of just the two of us playing in the background. The caption? Friends to the end. Jay, are you still there? That wasn't just trolling, that was a sniper shot. But 50 didn't stop there. He brought up one of the darkest allegations, straight from Cassie's lawsuit. She claimed Diddy got so heated about her dating Kid Cudi that he told someone, "I'm gonna blow that ninja's car up." Then, bam, Cudi's car actually exploded in his driveway. And here's the kicker. Kid Cudi testified that it did happen. He confirmed the explosion in court. So when 50 made that post, fans went wild, thinking he was implying that Jay-Z either knew about the whole thing or maybe even helped cover it up. Whether it's petty or exposing the truth, 50 Cent just added a whole new layer to the chaos, and the streets are listening real close. Let's not pretend 50 Cent is just out here chasing clout. This man is seriously tapped in. Don't forget, he was the first to drop the bomb that Diddy was under federal investigation, months before CNN even touched the story. So when 50 posted that, "Jay, you still there?" message, that wasn't shade, it was a warning. Now sure, Jay-Z stayed silent when the OKI lawsuit dropped, but with federal pressure climbing and freak-off witnesses starting to name names, that silence, it's starting to sound a lot like strategy. And here's where things get even messier. There's a theory floating around. Maybe it's a stretch, maybe not, but you know what to do. Drop your take in the comments. This one's been bubbling on Reddit and TikTok for years, but now it's catching serious heat again. Some people believe that Jay-Z sabotaged Chris Brown's entire career. Let's rewind to 2009. That night the world can't forget. Chris Brown assaulted Rihanna, and just like that, his career caught fire, in the worst way. Total industry freeze-out. Blacklisted. But here's where the whispers get wild. Some folks say Rihanna was getting close to Jay-Z at the time, and that tension triggered the violent fight with Chris. Even more twisted, industry insiders allege that Rihanna might have given Chris an STD, and Jay-Z used that chaos to his advantage, controlling the fallout, crushing Chris's reputation, and sealing how the world saw him forever. The internet's convinced Jay didn't just make the real story vanish, he made sure Chris Brown never bounced back to his full shine. And here's the cherry on top. Super Bowl executive producer Jesse Collins confirmed that Jay-Z has final say on who headlines the halftime show. That's major power. So if Jay-Z don't mess with you, you're not performing on that stage. Period. No matter how big your name is. Sounds like more than coincidence, and the streets are starting to say it out loud. Chris Brown hasn't touched a Grammy stage in over a decade. Coincidence? Fans don't think so. Meanwhile, Dr. Dre, who's got a long, well-documented history of violence against women, was honored with a lifetime Grammy and even got his own category. So why's Chris still iced out? More and more people are pointing fingers at Jay-Z. The theory? If Jay gave Chris his stamp of approval, the industry would open its arms again. But with Diddy's whole empire going up in flames, folks are wondering, is Jay really about to save anyone but himself? Let's swing it back to the Zorro lawsuit, because it keeps getting darker. According to the legal filings, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were allegedly in the room, watching it all go down. Now, Jay's lawyer, Alex Spiro, denied that flat out, claimed Jay wasn't even there. But the streets? They're not convinced. Because if what Zorro's saying is real, this ain't just bad press. This is full-blown complicity in some of the most disturbing alleged abuse the music industry's ever faced. And it doesn't stop there. The location of the alleged assault? A mansion that now belongs to Gloria Estefan. And according to legal documents, she saw Zorro's condition and allegedly begged her husband to call an ambulance. But Emilio Estefan, he supposedly shut it all down and ushered her away like nothing happened. That part made people's skin crawl, because if these documents are accurate, then powerful people weren't just bystanders, they were protecting the mess, making sure no one made noise. So now the question everyone's asking, how deep does this go? And who else knew but stayed quiet? And just like that, poof, both Jay-Z and Beyoncé's names were quietly scrubbed from the lawsuit. According to Zorro, now they supposedly weren't even there. So the question that's got everyone buzzing is, how much power does Jay-Z really have if his name keeps disappearing from legal documents like magic? Now let's circle back to Katt Williams' wild but oddly convincing take, the one that's got folks calling him a modern-day prophet. During his live stream after the Zorro allegations dropped, Katt allegedly dropped a bold claim. Jay-Z is the industry janitor. He said Jay doesn't just protect people. He cleans up the whole mess until it gets too messy. Then, he burns the whole thing down, even if people get caught in the flames. What Katt's really saying? Jay-Z ain't just playing defense. He's allegedly out here running the whole chessboard, managing narratives, deciding who gets exposed, who vanishes, and who walks away clean. And every single time Jay-Z needs to level up someone close to him, suddenly disappears or gets sidelined. Coincidence? Fans are starting to think not. So now the spotlight's back on Diddy. People are whispering, is Jay-Z letting him fall to save his own empire? And what's extra creepy, Jay-Z hasn't said a single word. No press statements, no tweets, no denial, nothing about the lawsuits, the leaked clip, the Zorro claims, not even a clapback at 50 Cent's trolling. His silence is louder than any statement, but then Jaguar Wright enters the scene, and when she speaks on industry secrets, People listen. She's been exposing the dark side of the music biz for years, and this time, she's naming names again, and she didn't mince words. Jaguar straight up said, Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. With all the silence, vanishing names, and shifting narratives, some folks are starting to believe she might be right. Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She went for the jugular, saying Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. Her reasoning? At least Diddy wears his dirt on his sleeve. Jay? He hides behind a tailored suit and a billionaire smile. He's the devil in disguise, she said, and she meant every word. According to Jaguar, Jay-Z didn't just watch Diddy fall, he engineered it. She claims he's pulling strings behind the scenes to shift all media heat away from himself and bury his own skeletons, especially from around 2000, 2023, and even some very recent drama. And during a recent live stream, she went even deeper. Jaguar alleged, Jay-Z doesn't even run his own house. He can't control Beyoncé, but wants to control the whole industry? She painted a picture of a man who plays the polished mogul in public, but behind closed doors, allegedly just as entangled in scandal as the ones he pretends to rise above, and maybe even worse. Then came another moment fans are pointing to as a suspiciously timed sabotage, Killer Mike's massive Grammy night. He walked away with 3 trophies: Best Rap Album, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance. A monumental night for any artist. But just minutes after stepping off that stage, boom, he was arrested right there inside the arena by LAPD. Cameras rolling, headlines flying, and guess who was conveniently standing backstage when it all went down? Jay-Z. Now let's be real, no one's saying Jay called the cops, but the timing? Insane. And Jaguar's not the only one raising eyebrows. Twitter lit up, with folks pointing out how Jay-Z always seems to be around these major coincidences. Plus, his close ties with law enforcement-friendly brands like the NFL only add more fuel to the fire. People are asking, is Jay really the mastermind behind the curtains? Or is it all just a very convenient pattern? Either way, the streets are watching, closer than ever. So now the real question, is Jay-Z just Diddy's fixer, cleaning up messes behind the scenes? Or is he the one actually running the whole freak-off empire from the shadows? The mastermind pulling every string, setting people up, and walking away untouched. Drop your thoughts because this story's far from over. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.